Hi everyone. In this video, I'll show you my Valentine bubble candy holders. I think they're absolutely adorable. If you'd like to make them, check the description right under this video. You'll find all the information about how to get my Design Space project. I thought we should take a quick look at the Design Space file, just so you know what everything is intended for. These are identical, but for a 3-inch ornament or a 2-inch ornament, or I should say half ornament. I'm going to hide this one just so I can break this up and show you what the pieces are. We'll just move these out of the way. So we have this top layer that's all cut out, pretty basic. We have the inside layer. There's a hole cut in this one because if you choose to use the perforated back, you will need that cutout to access the candy in the bubble. If you're using the solid back, it really doesn't matter if it's there or not, but it will be covered by this extra piece. So this is how you would put the 3 pieces together. This perforated back, I'll change the color just so you can see the perforation. There we go. So instead of pulling the bubble off of the card, you can just open it from the back and take the candy out. The difference is it's a little more difficult to add the candy when you have the perforated back. I'll show you that when I assemble one in the next part of this video. So I'll turn it back to black. This extra piece is just in case you want to glue it on the back, not on the perforated, but on the solid back, to add a little note, a little message. And even if you want to, you can add something here in Design Space or write it by hand. This little circle is what we're going to use to help us add the candy and place it on the card. So you'll see that again in the next part of the video. So I've already cut this project out. I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and we'll assemble one of these cards. So these are the little bubble candy holders when they're assembled. I think they're really cute. I'm making the 2-inch ones. It's a nice size for me to add to the gift bags that I'm doing for my grandchildren, and I think those will be really sweet when they're added. There's a difference in the back, as I showed you in the file, that you have one that's a solid back, which is what I'm using, and you have one with a perforated back. The one with the perforated back is a little more difficult to use because you want to add your adhesive without touching that perforation, and it'll be a little more difficult to add your candy. Either you'll have to put this partially down and put the candy in, or fill it and turn this on top and try to line it up with the adhesive. So it's a little more difficult. I'm using a solid back and I'm using this little disc of cardstock to close up the candy. And we just add it right on, and you would pull this off to access the candy, pull off the back. These are really quick to make this way. I filled this bubble in advance and let the glue dry because it does take time for the glue to dry. I'll show you how we'll do that. So we'll just take our little bubble and put your candy in. I ordered smaller candy and it hasn't arrived, but I thought you might want this project for the weekend. So I'll go ahead and use this candy that I have. So you'll just take this little disc. You may want to check first how your ornament fits. I know that mine fits around here. So I just put some adhesive on the disc, put my candy in, and just turn this upside down on the disc. And then make sure it's lined up on the adhesive. That looks good. And we'll just set it aside to dry. It does take a while to dry. I'm using Tombow and I use a lot of it to add the disc. So it does take a little while to dry, and that's why I did this one in advance. Assembling this one is actually really easy. So we have the background layer. I'm going to add some adhesive to this one. You want to put the adhesive on the layer that you're putting on top so that you don't put your adhesive in the wrong place, because you can see each layer, the black layer is offset a little bit. So there's the red layer. If I was doing the perforated back, I would need this hole there, this cutout, so that when I pulled off the back, I can access the candy. We don't need it on this, but it's going to be covered anyway. So we'll just add some adhesive to this. I use a lot of adhesive. And I found it fits nicest with this little tab pointing down. I'll just make sure it's centered properly. That looks good. It's still a bit loose, so we can adjust it a bit. I'm going to put a little adhesive around this edge so that my top layer will have something to adhere to. That's that. And then on this, I just put the adhesive on the outside edge. I don't find that it's necessary to put it all over. I see a little piece that I didn't weed out. There we go. It's really a simple project. I've seen a lot, it's not, definitely not an original idea. I've seen a lot of these in the Facebook groups and on Etsy and Pinterest, and they're all over the place. But I wanted to make one that was really simple that you could do if you're doing a lot or if you're short on time and you want a quick little treat to give out. So we'll just put this on top and move it around so that it's lined up properly. And there we go. That's how easy it is to put together. You just want to give time for this to dry so that it doesn't come apart on your card. Super easy and super cute. So I hope you're going to enjoy making these. Please post pictures if you do. I'd love to see them. And once again, check below the video. There's a link to my Facebook group. That's where you can get this file if you want it. Thank you for watching.